So we found more random snooker related products on the internet, so we're going to have a look at a few and give them a rating out of 5. Okay, let's go with the first one. And this is called a snooker aiming trainer, which comes in this natty little pouch. Not the snappiest title, you would say. We've got this pretty technical looking thing. We've got these two sticks that I presume they go in there. I don't know why one's black, one's red. My first look at this is I don't have a clue what to do with it. To me, snooker was natural. So a lot of these technical aids, they go a little bit over my head and I need to be taught how to use them. If someone can maybe comment in and tell me what 52.5 means, it'll be gladly received, because I haven't got a clue. What I presume it's an aiming product, so it's obviously to try and find the potting point on the ball to pot. So say we've got this black to cut into there. So got this little groove where obviously the ball sits in. Now I presume you line it up with a pocket. Now, whoever invented this will be screaming down the screen at me probably if I'm doing it wrong. There's a line on this aiming trainer. So I've got it with the potting point in the black. I presume these help you with just a bit of sighting. To get to that potting point, we've got all these little plastic things here. And I presume what you do is line up the cue ball up with one of these lines that's going towards that's going to the potting point of the black. So if I try and test this out, so if I was going to aim straight at there, okay, I'm aiming straight. I think I've got it. Take it away. Well, whether I'm still aiming at the same point, I don't know. It's a complicated way of going about finding the potting point. I mean, I would just say just as easy as coming round, having a look at the ball, getting the straight line in your eye line, keeping your eye on it, going back, and get down playing the shot. Once you've seen the potting point, you've got to get up, take it away. So maybe you've forgotten the line by the time you've taken this away. It's a bit complicated for me, and I'm going to give it an overall 3 out of 5, being a bit generous, because even when I first took up snooker, I think I would take one look at this and say, no thanks. So, say I've got no idea what 52.5 means. Someone has just actually told me, and this is incredible that I don't know this, that it's actually the size of a snooker ball. So, I've learned something today. If only for nothing else, this implement, I've learned the size of a snooker ball. This is the cheapest brand new snooker cue we could find online. Now this cue is clearly for a beginner. And what I would say about this cue, it's maybe not for a full size table. And I'll tell you the reason for that is the ferrule in tip is, well, you can see it's huge. It's almost like a pool cue rather than a snooker cue. I had a similar cue to this when I first started playing on a 6x3 table when I was 13. So it's more a cue for that sort of situation rather than a full-size table. Another thing why this cue is so cheap, you can see the tip actually screws on and off. That's got to be tight, obviously, because if you don't, that's going to rattle. Again, if you got this, I suppose one of the advantages of a cheap cue, maybe that if you need a new tip, you just unscrew this one and get another one. Because of the make of the tip, you're not going to get much cue ball control with this, but we'll give it a go. Tip's pretty hard. It's pretty solid. 2-piece cue, joint in the middle, so easy to carry around. Now this probably won't make the nicest sound in the world. It's a pretty thick bit of wood. Yeah, didn't make a very nice sound because the tip is basically as hard as that. Kind of like what Mark Williams uses. Actually hits the ball better than I expected. If you're a snooker player, professional snooker player, I mean, this just sends shivers down your spine. This huge ferrule, and I don't know what this black bit underneath the tip is. But yeah, you basically think you're not going to get any control whatsoever. So as I said, it's not really for play on a professional cloth, on a full-size table with professional balls, because you just won't get the control at all. But for a beginner, maybe playing on a 3/4 size table, I actually think it's not a bad bit of kit. As you're a beginner, you're not going to be playing shots with loads of side or loads of screwback shots or topspin, because you're not going to be able to do that with this cue. But if you just want to pop balls, not bad. So rating, I'd give this 4 out of 5 actually. Another sort of visual trainer for snooker. I looked at the pictures and I really have no idea what benefit this has. I presume you put your cue through there. Now, it only goes that far, so I don't know where that's meant to happen, but obviously anyone with a thicker cue than this will not even be able to use it. There's 2 lines here. That's pretty much, yeah, so that you can see that's the size of the ball pretty much. All I can fathom is it's to keep you in the middle of the cue ball, because obviously the hole where the cue goes through is right in the middle of the two lines, which is obviously the width of the cue ball. So it's to train you to hit the middle of the white. But how you can concentrate on that with this perspex thing going back and forward, I have no idea. It's the most random, ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I suppose if I'm going to give a plus for this thing, if you struggle with always putting unwanted side on the cue ball, maybe this is a thing for you. Unwanted side normally comes by going like that, round. So if you put an unwanted side, you're still going to go through and go like that. It's not stopping you from not hitting the middle of the cue ball. You suppose you've got to keep looking at those lines, keep them going back and forth on a straight. I mean, I'm going dizzy. I'm actually going dizzy. This is the biggest waste of time of any object that's ever been made to do with snooker that I've ever seen. 0.5 out of 5. This item, £11.99 from Amazon. Well, it's advertising 8-in-1 QTip Repairer, shaper. It says there's 8 ways on this little thing of sorting your tip out. I mean, the first one, I'm going to put that in there, and that's, I don't know what that does actually. Yeah, I'm learning on the go here as well. There's a blade here, which you've got to be careful. You don't want to stick your finger in there, which, let's have a go, see what happens. What's that done to it? Oh yeah, it's kind of like, it's just taking a little bit. So the blade, obviously you can put it in there and it's shaping the tip one way. The blade here, I don't know what that does. I've never put a tip on in my life, by the way, so this is alien to me anyway. You've got thing here to sort of, that'll, you know, shape the tip. This is, it's like a steel brush thing. I mean, people are going to be laughing at me now. It's like sandpaper, but it's obviously for, you know, you would use it more like that, I suppose, to shape the tip. That's the same thing, but it's more sloped, so obviously helps you to create that sort of dome shape effect. I'm not sure, you can see that top one there with the lines, I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I presume it's that sort of business. You can see with the tip, it's getting slightly ruffled up here by the sandpaper. This is a flat one. I presume you'd do something like that if the tip was a little bit soft. This one, I don't know what these brushes do. Again, maybe just rough. If you've got a hard tip, sometimes I used to get a file, just an ordinary metal file, and literally tap it, and it would create tiny little indentations in the tip, which would just soften it up a little bit. So I presume that's a similar sort of thing. But yeah, I can't find 8 different things. There's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's the other 2? I think this is a bit severe, this on here. It's quite rough. I don't think you want something that rough on the tip of your cue. This, I'd say, is pretty dangerous. I mean, if you slipped and put your fingers through that wouldn't be clever. These things are pretty much the same, although that's kind of like sloped. This, you can do the same thing, you just do that. I think someone's had too much time in their hands and invented this thing where you can basically do it with a metal file, a normal bit of sandpaper. I mean, I think you need 2 or 3 things to help you put a tip on. You don't need 8, and I can't find 8. There's only 6, so give a mark away for that. 1.5 out of 5 I'm giving this. $9.95 from Amazon gets you this little green pouch, Pocket Sports Snooker. Let's see what's inside. We've got a bag, we've got some dice. We've got various things in them. Pot left, easy pot. Leave tricky pot. Brown, that's for the colours obviously. Miss, don't know what these are for, so let's have a look at the rules. Oh dear. To start the game, flip a coin to decide who breaks. The person that breaks throws the in-play dice, which is this one. So you throw that, and that says leave tricky pot. Leave tricky pot, you have left your opponent a difficult chance to pot. Opponent can go for the pot by playing a tricky pot dice or decline the pot and continue the in-play dice. Okay, I'm gonna cut this short now. I've already lost the will to live by reading all these instructions. It looks like a game that maybe you could play down the pub or play with some friends, but you need someone that understands rules of games, which I am not. I have already lost patience with this. After 2 lines, I'm going to give this a 1 out of 5. I don't even understand what it is. I don't know what these are for. These look like floral gums. I used to eat these when I was young. Anyone you eat these? Floral gums are amazing, like cherry lips. That's what these look like. Okay, this is Karuka. It's snooker in a fashion. The thing I like about this the most is you can twist the table around. You could have this post-dinner party, I suppose, at the table, and everyone sits and nobody needs to move. You can just move it around. But anyway, we've got the white ball here. You've got to break the reds. I mean, I suppose it's like, I used to play Subbuteo when I was young. It's a little bit like that. You've got to sort of finesse get your flick strength to get the most cue ball power, I suppose. So basically, I'm going to flick. So I've broken off. Say someone is sat over there. They move that round, or move it round to wherever. What red? I'm going to go a plant here. Try and get this plant in the middle pocket. Great effort, went in off. This cue ball is bigger than the actual colour balls. I'm calling them balls. They're like, obviously they're like drafts, so you get a draft board. Don't know why it's bigger, because that cue ball should never have gone in off there. So gone in off, so I'm going to put the cue ball behind this sort of, there's 2 lines, and an outer line is an inner line, so I'm going to put it behind. So it's a bit of a long pot, this. Position on the colour is not going to be easy. Try and cut the black in. Not a bad effort. Now what? I'll just split the reds again. I did pot one, that's a fluke. I'll try and pot the yellow. Colours are not, the way the colours are around the side, it's not easy. Decent pot. As my old Subbuteo skills are coming in here. Yeah, let's try and pot this red along there. Oh, I'm on fire. Table's a bit of a mess now, but yeah, it's a decent party game, I think. Marks out of 5. It's quite difficult once you potted a red to be able to be on a colour to pot it. This is bigger than these. I don't know why, because it means when you play a shot, it just follows through. Overall, as in a fun game to play, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. Okay, next up is a stroke exerciser. Now, it's not as dodgy as it might sound. This is implement, could be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in terms of helping you play snooker or pool. At that price, I can't believe they've sold one, but obviously they have, because we've got it here. So well done. If you go by the diagrams, you put it, if I'm going to pot this pink, I mean, I presume you've got to it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It doesn't stop the cue moving around, because look. Yeah, real good. So, I mean, you've got to spend the time lining it up with the pot. You haven't even got your potting point yet. You get your potting point separately and then put this thing down, and it's supposed to help you cue in a straight line, which it doesn't, because you can see the cue goes all over the place. I mean, it's like, it's a tube and it's 2 rubber shapes. How someone has thought that is going to help you play snooker, I have no idea. I presume you've got other options of turning that on that side, turning that like that to a slightly different angle. I don't know how something that's supposed to be a stroke exerciser, you can't actually have a stroke. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Everything moves. All I can say is every credit for trying to think of something and coming up with this ridiculous thing, but it's not going to improve your snooker. And I'm going to give you 0.5, which is very generous, but only because the thought that's gone into this, to think that this might help snooker. So I do apologise for the review, but I don't know where you're going with this. No, thank you. Okay, next item you can get off Amazon for about 7 or 8 quid. Obviously, it's more for pool players because it's got the number 8 on it, so it's not really a snooker player thing, but you could use it for snooker because it's a chalk holder. Now, it's not going to work with the latest, because you see that square, it's not going to work with the latest round chalk. Can't get it in there. So you need the old sort of triangle chalk, which obviously goes in there like that. And the cool thing about this is, because obviously no one wants to put chalk in their jeans or their trousers because you're going to rip your jeans, that's what I used to do. Clip it onto your thing here, and it's on a kind of elastic, so you can basically chalk the cue, and I would say just go, let it go. Water on the table. To use something like this, you're going to have to be a good player, because if you don't, you're going to get the mickey ripped out of you by your mates for something like this. Yeah, I mean, you'll have a bit of fun with it. The only thing is, when the chalk gets really worn with these chalk holders, sometimes you can't get to it's more difficult to chalk the cube. Do I look cool or not? I'll let you decide. Marks out of 5 for this? It's a bit gimmicky. I mean, you could put your keys on there. I mean, you could have a big, massive clump of keys walking on your trousers as well. So I think I'm going to give this 4 out of 5. I think it's quite cool. So on eBay for about £15, you can get yourself this pretty, well, lethal looking bit of kit. What it is a laser to help you aiming, or I presume to help your aiming point on the cue ball. You basically fix the laser onto your cue. You get this Allen key. There's a button at the end of it. We'll press that on. So you can see there, look, there's a little light. So the fact that this laser is higher up on the cue means it's never going to be, the tip of the cue is never going to be hitting the same point as the actual light. The light is always going to be above. But if I'm looking for ways, positive ways this is going to help you, I suppose if you go either way like that, then the light is moving to the right side and the left side. So if you keep the laser level and the light level, but obviously coming back, it keeps hitting my finger. And yeah, that's going to take the skin of your finger off. Now, I've potted that pink basically through sheer talent, nothing to do with the laser light at all. So it's another one of these random things that's supposed to help you sight it. I think it's more gimmick than actually helping you. I don't know where it can be on the cue where it's not, if you're cueing up, it's not, you know, taking the skin off your fingers. And the light is never going to be on the cue ball where you're actually striking it. So we moved it forward to see if that helps at all. But the only problem you got with that is, okay, it's closer and the light's on, but now I can't see the tip of the cue. So I don't know where it is. I don't know how far away the tip of the cue is to the cue ball. Even if you're like aimed like that, you can't see the tip of the cue. I remember once years ago, Len Ganley, the famous referee, had a laser. He bought it from the Far East, and if anyone in the crowd were making a noise, he'd actually laser pen them, so they'd shut. So that you can maybe use it for that. I don't see the point in this at all in terms of helping you aim and play snooker or pool. I don't think it's any good at all. 0.5 out of 5. Bit savage, but I'm not impressed. Finally, something out of all these things we've got on the internet that you can actually use, and it's a pair of socks. It's nothing to do with trying to sight the cue ball or make your stroke better or hit the middle of the cue ball. It's just a pair of socks. Now you just know they're going to work. Ken Doherty would love these. Obviously pool, it's not snooker. Pool balls on there, so they look comfortable, nice and soft. For a pool fan, I'm giving these 5 out of 5. Okay, I don't know if you're like me, I love a word search. And this is, for a snooker fan, the perfect gift. A snooker word search. Easy to hard puzzles. Nice picture, there's a table in there. Easy, hard. Okay, let's go for the hard one, shall we? Attempt, experience. Oh, got experience straight away. Pretty hard this, because there's only 10 words for all that. Nominate, got it. I might take this on holiday. Snooker word search. 4.5 out of 5. We're going to look at the World Snooker 19 game on PlayStation. This is something that I am absolutely useless, always have been. PlayStation games. Let's be Ronnie O'Sullivan, shall we? Versus Judd Trump. 1 frame match. This will be interesting. Never played one of these games before. Oh, that's a dodgy shot. Wow, what a shot by Judd. I mean, he would never have played that in a real match. A very poor positional shot. Or does your opponent just put everything? I might have picked a wrong player here. He's missed. We're in, but he's not left anything. Oh, not 100%. I think I'll be sitting down again. Yeah. Basically, 2 shots, I've lost the frame. That's why I never play computer games. The graphics are good. Okay, so I can review this game while Judd Trump is at the table clearing up. I never play computer games, so I don't know what to judge it against. I think the graphics are amazing. You know, the control, the cue ball, the speed, I suppose. I think if you're certainly a computer game player and you like snooker, I think it looks pretty cool. The only reason I'm not giving it 5 out of 5 is because I don't know how to play it. If I could play it and get the sort of the feel of it, I'd maybe give it 5 out of 5. But I'll give it 4 out of 5 because it looks great, but I'm just hopeless at these things. For £13 from Argos, you can get this cool little pool table that will obviously go anywhere. You maybe in your office. Okay, it's not the most level table in the world. I think without the lights, I'd probably give it 3 out of 5. With the lights, I'm gonna give it 4.5. Okay, so for $3.99 on Amazon, if there's anyone that you know is having a birthday party and having cakes, birthday cakes, cupcakes, you can get these edible snooker things that you basically stick on the cupcake. There you got the triangle, you got a guy queuing up there, you've got the chalk, and you've got a snooker table. So, as I say, any snooker fans that are having a birthday or anything, I think they're pretty good. And as I say, they are edible, so I'll show you. Bit of chalk there. Not the tastiest thing I've ever eaten, but it's the first chalk I've ever eaten. So yeah, I think for a fan, a snooker fan, I think I'm going to give that a generous 4.5 out of 5. I think they're a good little gift.